Hey, it's Corey of Blood Brothers Racing. In this episode, we're going to dyno Chris's motor. So I'm all loaded up with my block back there, shrink wrap because it's raining, and I'm going to head to Bethalto, Illinois, which is about 4.5 hours from my house, and we're going to dyno that motor. So put your guesses down there what it's going to dyno before you see it. Don't be a cheater, and let the fun times begin. I'm excited. Are you excited? What do you think about that, Chris? He didn't get to come. He has to work. So it's going to be a solo mission for me. All right, stay tuned. We got some exciting content coming for you. All right, guys, we made it to Performance Automotive in Bethalto. This is the next day. Stayed the night here so we could do this first thing in the morning. Motor is on the dyno stand. They've already ran it a couple times, make sure there's no leaks. It's all good there. And we're not going to push it too hard. We're just going to try to make a safe tune-up and get a good data sheet in case we need to change the torque converter or gears. We'll know. So there she is, my old blower. And I think it's going to rock and roll. We're going to have some pretty good video on it. So just a few minutes, we're going to fire it up.
The first time I've ever been in a dyno.
Really?
Yeah. Was it chopping up towards the end there? Or,
It was just the way it sounds when the RPMs are climbing.
Yeah. It worked so
It sounded pretty good.
Yeah, it sounded good.
I'll tell you,
pretty
towards the end, I was like, shut her up! Shut it up! I didn't know.
That was 6,800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it made 656 there. Yeah. £16.5 of booze.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's even that high. But like we talked about the other day, man, it made 16 pound boost past 4,600 or 4,600
all the way through.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty much lost efficiency once you get up to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just, you know, it's not really climbing anymore and stuff. You know, it's just staying there. You know, once it gets up to, you know, right here, you know, it just pretty much just.
What do you think about those EGTs?
Yeah, they don't look too bad. 1,300, 1240, 1270. This one here, this has got a bad probe on it. We haven't changed it. This one here, it's there's all the. Close.
There's your
Power.
Dude, that thing is still climbing.
Yeah, it's still climbing, yeah.
Wow. What about that torque line? Is that?
It's pretty damn good. It's pretty flat. I mean, I like a flat torque curve. 30 degrees timing.
I don't think with timing we're going to gain a whole lot with where it's at. I mean, especially the strap.
What do we got for, what's the bottom pulley?
57.
57.
14%.
The bottom one's 57, the top is
50.
50, okay.
It should be 14%, if my math's right.
57, bottom, 50 top. Okay. You know, like I said, I don't want to put no more timing in the motor than that.
No, I don't think it needs to. We really need to look at trying to remove power.
I don't know how we're going to do that other than pulley changes.
Other than, like I said, you know, maybe drop the timing down to 25 degrees or something.
I'd like to do that to see how the motor reacts. We always know we can change the pulley. I'm just going to have to probably chain it out too.
Yeah.
That belt ain't going to accept a bigger pulley. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, no, that's about as big as she'll go. It's kind of tight getting her on there like that and stuff with the idler on it and stuff. Like I said, if we take timing out of it though, it's going to fatten the motor up even more, so it's going to kill more power even yet. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I don't know. What do you want to see from it? What do you?
I say let's take and put like 25 degrees timing in it. Let's look at a spark plug. Let's take and then we'll just put the timing at 25 and see what it does at 25. And you know, if that doesn't kill a whole bunch of power, or you know, or something like that, then yeah, about the only other thing that
You bunch of fucking sex before we
you're just gonna have to you know, slow the
24 pack of hot dogs.
Well, and unfortunately, he doesn't have a grid, so we can't pull a bunch of shit in the very beginning to tame it down.
Yeah, she's still a little bit on.
It's fat.
Yeah.
But as far as the timing mark, I mean, it's already at the strap.
Right. Yeah.
Portion.
Yeah. So we could probably, I mean, really, probably don't need quite that much timing in it either.
See, I always thought that was the timing mark. You see where it discolors? Is that what it is, or is it all the way
Usually the
down?
timing mark, you know, yeah, it usually comes around the ground strap. We always try and get it somewhere right at this bend right here. Yeah. So it's, you know, like I said, it'd probably be better taking a little bit of timing out of it anyway.
That filter one more time.
Yeah, I think so. Just double check. This is a number 9 spark plug.
Yes.
Is that what you ran into?
I used 8s
Ace
for gas. I had good luck with that.
Uh-huh.
I'm running 9s now. But
Yeah, I mean, you know, with that kind of boost and stuff on the thing.
And that was the difference. Mine, I was only getting 9 pounds of boost.
Uh-huh.
So I ran 8s because 9s I seemed to foul the plugs up.
I get these things about 25. So
That's about where I'm at too. Well, now I'm about 18.
you're down about 18. I didn't know what kind of had for. This is with the with just a 7AL on the thing and stuff.
that'll be a lot closer than where we need it. For
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, it just sounds kind of shitty going. Yeah, it didn't hurt the exhaust temperatures too much out there. Picked them up just a little bit. So, yeah, our boost is down a little bit now too and stuff. You see, it was almost all 16s out there. We got quite a few 15s. So, I mean, they're 15.9, but it was down a little bit of stuff on it there, man.
I didn't realize the timing would affect the booster or amount of boost you're getting.
A little bit, well, yeah. Yeah, because it's where it's, you know, where it's firing the charge at the cylinder and stuff there to make it.
So we're gonna call 24 good. And then
Yeah, 24, 25, something like that.
maybe lean it out.
Maybe bump it up to about 25, just that way it kind of takes up that little bit of flutter out of it and stuff there. But I'm sure that a lot of that would just be being fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because see our brake specific numbers here is 670s, 680s, and stuff like that. What was our? See, is it a 620s and 630s? See how much it's back the motor up by taking that timing out of it?
Sounds good to me. I think it's healthy.
Huh?
I think it's healthy.
Yeah.
We know where it's at. We got the curves for the torque converter guys if they want to make an adjustment.
Yeah.
Good to go.
All right, guys, we just dynoed the motor. The first pull, we only did 2 pulls. That's all we needed. The first pull was pretty much as the blower came off of my motor, and 30 degrees, 14% over. It made 652 horsepower, which was too much for what we're trying to do. So we took 4-ish degrees out and made 610, which is closer to what we need. And then we can add weight to the car to get it to 10 seconds from there. It was running pretty fat, so we're gonna have to change the jets, but we can deal with that at the track. I'm not too terribly worried about how much horsepower we're gonna pick up by leaning it out. So anyway, successful, motor's in one piece, the oil filter looks, you can eat off of it. So we're real excited. We're gonna get this thing blown apart and get it in the back of the truck so we can head home and get this in his car, hopefully tomorrow. So, yay.
That's what that
Yeah.
tray's for. I didn't know that.
Beer
holder.
It's my beer tray. All right, got the motor home. What do you think, Chris? Pretty badass looking, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Got a little snippet of what it sounded like in a poor video, but I'm excited to see it.
We got some quality videos.
So, quest for 10s. It better effing get me to 10s, all I got to say.
I guarantee it's gonna get you a 10.
Okay, all right.
So this really is about the bill.
Yeah. Should I start with?
What I think we should do, because I don't think it's really fair to everybody we'll probably bleep out the exact numbers, but we had an expectation going into it of roughly what we were thinking it was going to cost, and then it just kept building because
everything just started. You know, we needed new crank, new rocker arms, new, everything just about from bottom to the top.
So I tell you, I got a list. I don't have an invoice or nothing, but I have a list in my head. We're just gonna start on the bottom, and you got new bearings, main rods, new crank, new rods, new pistons, new main studs, moving up a little bit, new cam, which you paid for, so that wasn't part of it. We got cam bearings in there. Hardware, because none of that hardware we really brought with us. As far as the heads are concerned, head gaskets, valve springs, push rods.
And he did a little work on the heads too, right?
Yeah, he did a little bit of work and made them right.
Yeah.
So there was whoever put them together beforehand used too many shims to try to get the installed height right. So he fixed all that.
Yeah, and just to kind of go back, the motor before, we didn't know what it was. And so it seemed to be a pretty hodgepodge
it was
motor.
Just put together.
There were some good parts and some bad parts and some really bad putting together.
Yeah, and that was the other thing that you bought it, I think, rocker arms.
I bought the rocker arms.
And sent them? Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of stuff that had to be replaced. Pretty much the only thing they used was the block itself and the head castings, because they had to replace a valve or two that was bent.
I figured they would, yeah.
Yeah, so
there's actually valves that were bent?
Yeah, there's at least one, maybe more, that's in the box in there.
Interesting.
All right, so I guess the question to you is, because you already know the bill's quite a lot higher than what we originally thought, would you rather watch the videos of it running and making a pass to like make you excited before you hear it, or do you want to hear the bill and then wash your sorrows away by watching the video? Okay, so Chris, you just watched the videos. Hopefully that, I don't know, we didn't put it on the big stereo, so maybe.
No, I can tell you just by listening to it, it's got some power.
Yeah.
And just seeing it, you know, hearing it raising the RPM and then shaking that stand when it shut down and everything, and hearing that blower whine.
It's clean too, it was real clean. Other than it was rich, which we knew about, we talked about. We were gonna do some adjustment on the dyno itself, but honestly, I think it was kind of a waste of our time to deal with that. That's something that I know solutions to with this blower combination, so I'm not too worried about that. We were mainly looking for horsepower range, and it kind of sucks because the first, right out of the gate, we had too much horsepower, so we had to pull some.
Yeah.
But, all right, so, you ready?
Yeah. $. All right. Well, that's actually a pretty fair price for all the work he did. And again, I know it's done right.
Yep.
So, you know, with all...
I almost want to fucking hug you right now, because I spent the past 4 hours worrying about this.
Oh, really?
I was almost into tears.
Oh, well, it's a big jump from what we was planning on. I've already sent him some money, and I was planning on sending him, you know, a little bit more. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things...
So what you got was not only parts, assembly, and dyno. So all that was numbers included in that invoice. So.
Oh yeah. And I figured, I mean, those guys spent time on this. You spent time on this, but you know, having them have your back and knowing that this motor is going to last a while, you know, so it may push our chassis back a year, you know, because we wanted to do that, you know, but again, I'm in the beginning stages of even racing, so getting used to this kind of power, trying to dial it in somewhat into a 10-second car is going to be a pretty big deal, and I don't really mind the
You'll
money.
have no issue going 10 seconds.
Yeah,
We'll actually probably have to figure out ways of adding weight.
Yep.
So that's one thing we may have to look at, throwing this motor in. We may have to look around and see where we can throw. We got that big weight bar out here we can cut down. We probably, if my math's correct, we're probably going to need to add at least 100 to 150 pounds.
Yeah. Well, I could just eat more donuts.
Don't tell Vern.
Sorry, Vern.
All right, so while we were there, I blew my motor apart, and we looked it all over. Number 3 main bearing wasn't the only one.
No.
We had some rod bearings that looked worse.
Oh.
So thankfully, all the crank, everything else looked really good. There was one journal that can be polished out, so we're not worried about that. So the only thing on my motor I have to deal with is I gotta buy bearings, I gotta buy rings, and head gasket. He's gonna put, instead of normal head gaskets, we're gonna O-ring the block. That's gonna save me trouble in the future if we end up pushing it past 20 pounds.
So, I mean, so really you did the right thing by saying...
Yeah, they actually, as soon as we pulled some of those rod bearings, mainly number 7 and 8 were really bad. It's like, this won't last long.
Yeah.
I mean, even if, you might get a chassis dyno, you may even get Indy, but Bowling Green we probably would have may have blown.
Yeah.
So it was just the bearing was starting to come apart. There's no real reason, definitive answer to it. What we kind of surmised is alcohol got into the oil. And that is going to be an issue I'm going to have to address with better quality oil that does not mix versus what we were running, which is the Pennzoil or Valvoline VR1.
Yeah.
It's really good for gasoline, but when you start going to alcohol, the top alcohol guys are running Brad Penn. That's what I'm going to run, 2050. So they say that it doesn't mix easily, so that you don't have those spotting. The other thing they recommend, my guys that I've been talking to, you change it every 20 passes. So that's pretty much one race for us.
Yeah, you're going to change
two.
it. You're going to probably change it. I would be on the safe side and change it every time.
The other thing is I'm going to get a new oil filter that can come off at the track and we can check and put it back on. We don't have to cut it open and stuff. It's a couple $100, but I think it's cheap insurance. That's something that's going to be on my
wish list.
Yeah. So I mean, so that was a great move on your part. Just do it right. And as much money, going back to money, as much money as you spent on that block last year from blowing from a bad bearing, I mean.
And that goes back to what the cost of this is insurance to what happened to me. You know, I was pushing the limits of a stock block with not the technical expertise of Performance Automotive. And they meticulously made this block as strong as possible, so that you don't have any of those issues. Plus, we're able to pull horsepower away, where I was just continue to push more into it, and that was my issue. It blew, cost me a ton of money. I got a motor from a reputable company, and it wasn't the exact parts I needed, and that's not their fault. It was, you know, it was originally built for a gas motor, and bearings and rings are different. So. Lesson learned, and we'll get them.
And you can also, and now what we talked about before is you can re-gap your rings
and
to accept more boost.
Yep.
So it just needed to be done all the way around. So
for sure. So that's great. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you like the content, make sure you share the content. The next video is we're gonna thrash to try to make Indy. That's a week away.
It is exactly a week away.
I'm looking at my wife off camera here. It's a week away.
So we have a week away.
We have to leave Thursday morning.
Okay.
Next week.
So, and I work just about every day. So
the good thing is we're not dealing with the truck. All we're doing was getting this in and then making sure surely to God we have enough parts laying around here to make something work.
I hope so. Even if we can just get down there and make a few passes, even if we're not competitive, find out what the car is going to do with this much power.
That'll be great for a Thursday day.
Yes.
And I'm actually going to help Mike Ryan with some chassis work. He was dealing with his car, wanting to go left or right, depending, and he got everything set up neutral, and I promised that I was going to help him in the staging lanes and try to figure out what's going on there so that he can make straight passes and be competitive too. So I've got two cars to kind of deal with, because this shouldn't be at a horsepower level where you're going to have your your tires driving you one way or not, but it is a lighter car. It is a lot of torque.
And stock front end chassis too. So, you know, it's going to probably twist a little bit, I'm going to guess, you know. So join me next time as we learn about my second and third jobs that I'm going to be getting.
And how many diapers does he need to go? How many passes? Is it one? Is it one pass? One diaper?
I mean, I've been in some fast cars, but I've not been 10 seconds.
This is going to be a absolute. You're never going to be the same. Hey, after you go down the strip with this thing, you're a changed man.
Okay.
You are a changed man. Promise you. So I hope you liked it. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and we will see you next time when this is driving down the road.
Hell yeah.
Right here.